How good was Shaq? We about to find out today, man. Let's run the intro and hop straight into it. Two, what's good? What's going on, man? It's your boy B, and we back in this mud with another reaction video. As you guys see by the title, how good was Shaq actually, man? And I seen Shaq play a few times, man, with Kobe. But I haven't really seen much gameplay of Shaq when he was on the Heat. So this should be interesting, man. We're gonna get a whole bunch of different highlights in this video. Hopefully, he breaks down a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't know. So y'all might learn something new as well. So if you guys enjoy the video, enjoy the reaction, make sure y'all drop a like on the video, subscribe, turn the notifications on, click the bell icon, turn it on all so you don't miss no bangers from your boy B, man. We got a whole bunch of videos dropping here this week. So y'all make sure y'all hit that sub button and drop a like on the video, man. We got some bangers coming, trust me. I got you. Let's get it, man.
Shaquille O'Neal was the most brutal force in the NBA, is one of the funniest men alive, and has a net worth of $400 million.
What the fuck is this, man?
NBA is one of the funniest men alive.
Hey, Shaq, you too big to be doing that shit right there, bro.
And has a net worth of $400 million. But how good was his career really? And where does he rank among the all-time best centers? Road to the NBA. Does size matter? For Shaq, his size made all the difference. At the age of 3, Shaq's mother would carry his birth certificate just to prove that he was not in school yet and could ride the bus for free.
Damn.
Because of his size, Shaq often beat up other kids and was turning into a juvenile delinquent. He nearly got kicked out of 7th grade. The debtor-in-jail stereotype would have probably been his destiny if it weren't for
crazy.
Sergeant Philip
Shaq was out here bullying kids and shit, man.
Harrison, Shaq's stepfather. Harrison's Army background and tough.
Yo, low keys, stepdad look like
If it
Charles
weren't for
Barkley.
Sergeant
Don't he, bruh? Like, hey, look, come on now, keep it 100, man.
Philip Harrison, Shaq's stepfather. Harrison's Army background and tough love were just the kind of discipline Shaq needed. Shaq would get whooped for bad behavior, and Shaq a fool on the court. Then one day, when Shaq was 13, already standing at 6'7", the size of an average NBA player, Shaq was playing basketball at the Army base in Germany, where Harrison was stationed. And he met Dale Brown, the head coach for the Louisiana State University. "Soldier, what's your rank?" Brown asked. "I don't have a rank. I'm only 13, Shaq responded. "Take me to your father immediately," Brown said, and offered Shaq a scholarship for LSU on the very same day.
Hey,
O'Neal's family then moved to Texas, where Shaq became a star for Cole High School. He led his team to a 68-1 record over 2 years and won the state championship as a senior. Schools everywhere were sending O'Neal scholarship offers, but he stayed loyal to LSU and Coach Brown. Then warming up before his first game for LSU.
Like, honestly, I ain't gonna lie, like, so say if I was like in the league or something, you know what I'm saying? If I get drafted by a team, this or that to the third, I would want to be on one team for like the rest of my career. I wouldn't want to like go from this team to that team to that team to another team, you know what I'm saying? I would want to, as long as everything, like the bread is right, you know what I'm saying, teammates is cool, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to like team hop. I don't think that's personally my, like, what would y'all do if y'all was to make it to the league? Would you want to like stay on that whole team, stay on that team that you got drafted to, or like team hop? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. I mean, it could go either way. Like I said, like, it just depends on the situation, but hey, it is what it is.
Whole arena got quiet. Everybody was murmuring and talking about a monster that had just come out to play because Shaq was the biggest human that they had ever seen. He stood at 7'1", weighing nearly 300 pounds, with a 7'7" wingspan, enormous hands, and size 23 shoes. And it was hard to believe that someone that big can move.
Look at the height difference, bro. This is crazy.
So fast. Shaq had a relatively modest freshman year at LSU, but in the next 2 seasons, Shaq averaged 25 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Even though Christian Laettner got selected over 5 points,
25,
14 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Even though Christian Laettner got selected over him to join the Dream Team in the 1992 Olympics, there was no question about who's the more talented NBA prospect. The Orlando Magic thought so too, and they selected Shaq with the first talented and joined the Dream Team in the 1992 Olympics. There was no question Laettner got selected over
Christian Laettner. Is he good? Do we need to check him out? I don't even know who. I never heard of this man ever before in my life. Honestly, Y'all let me know if he good in the comments, man. If you know anything about Christian Laettner, let me know. I'll be down there to heart your comment up, man.
For him to join the Dream Team in the 1992 Olympics, there was no question about who's the more talented NBA prospect. The Orlando Magic thought so too, and they selected Shaq with the first pick in the 1992 NBA draft. The biggest kid at Disney World. Shaq was no ordinary rookie. Against the Nets, he broke the backboard, and against the Suns, he brought down the entire basket. The NBA had to change the rules.
How many rims Shaq done brought down, bro? That could be a dope video, bro. Like,
Shaq was no ordinary rookie. Against the Nets, he broke the backboard, and against the Suns, he brought down the entire basket. The NBA had to change the rules and ordered
the whole
all
game
teams to strengthen their baskets to be able to withstand the Shaq attack. But Shaq was more than a powerful freak of nature. His handles were extraordinary for a man of his size, and he'd run the fast break, just like Giannis does today. O'Neal averaged 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks per game. He became the first rookie selected to the
So about the same though. Like, he averaged what, more rebounds in the NBA though. But averaging the same points is about the same from college.
All-Star game since Michael Jordan in 1985, and was voted Rookie of the Year almost unanimously. And because he dominated the camera and microphone just as well as he did on the court, the all-singing and all-dancing giant became a marketer's dream. After missing the playoffs by one game in his rookie year, Shaq's popularity immediately transferred his game to a movie set. He became Leon Boudreaux, a fictional character in Blue Chips, one of the best basketball movies ever. On the set, Shaq met Penny Hardaway, a star point guard at the University of Memphis. The duo immediately clicked, and
I want to watch some Penny Hardaway clips, man. He got his shoes is popular too. I want to watch some Penny Hardaway clips, man.
Had great chemistry. Orlando had just a 0.01% chance to get the first pick in the upcoming draft, but they lucked out, and Shaq harassed the Magic management to select Penny. Shaq got his wish granted, and everyone believed they would become Magic and Kareem 2.0. In
Magic and Kareem 2.0. Man. That's crazy. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. This man Shaq though, bro. Shaq like that, bro. For real, man. Breaking down rims. What other NBA player like broke a rim? Let me know in the comments if you know as well, man. Like,
1994, Shaq averaged 29 points per game on a league-leading 60%
Shaq
shooting, along with 13 rebounds and 3 blocks. He was fourth in the MVP voting, and Penny was the runner-up for Rookie of the Year. Orlando won 50 games in the regular season, but they got punched in the mouth in the playoffs. The Pacers swept Orlando, and the Magic brass realized that they needed to add some veterans, so they signed Horace Grant and Brian Shaw. In 1995, Shaq led the NBA in scoring. Penny became an all-star. Orlando won 57 games and had the best record in the league. Once playoffs came around, they got past the Celtics and won their first playoff series in franchise history. However, nobody expected them to get past the second round. Not when their opponent was the Bulls, and Michael Jordan returned from baseball. MJ averaged 31 points in that series on 48% shooting, but Orlando had a better team. Their starting lineup all averaged 15 points per game or more, led by O'Neal's 24 and 13, and the Magic won the series in 6 games. In the conference finals, Shaq led the way to victory in the deciding Game 7, and Orlando avenged their loss to the Pacers.
He dunking on him, bro.
In the finals, they'd have to play against Hakeem Olajuwon and the defending champions, the Houston Rockets. In Game 1, Orlando had a 3-point lead with 10 seconds remaining. Nick Anderson was at the free throw line, and he missed both, but got the rebound and got fouled again. He would go on to miss the next 2 as well.
Hey, man, get him out of the game, man. Appreciate you grabbing the boards for us, but look, you got to go sit on the bench, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you about to cause us to take his L, dog.
And Kenny Smith hit a 3 to send the game to overtime.
That's what I'm saying.
The Rockets would prevail, and this became a huge psychological failure for Orlando. Even though he played a great series offensively, Shaq couldn't stop Hakeem on the other end, and the Rockets swept the Magic. O'Neal later admitted that he was still very immature during that time, and that he and teammate Dennis Scott partied for a week before the finals, instead of preparing. The 1996 Orlando was even
Tragic.
stronger than in 95, winning 60 games in the regular season, which is still a franchise record. And they reached the conference finals, a duel with the 72-10 Chicago Bulls. With the addition of Dennis Rodman, the best supporting cast in the league, and MVP Jordan, Orlando had no chance, and they got swept. After the season, O'Neal became a free agent. Nobody thought much of it, thinking that Shaq would remain in Orlando because they had a great team. But then, the ownership started stalling with his contract negotiations, offering O'Neal less money than he wanted. And after 85% of readers in the Orlando Sentinel said that O'Neal is not worth $100 million, Shaq's ego couldn't take it.
Damn.
He wanted out. So Jerry West swooped in and lured Shaq to LA with a 5% contract negotiations, offering O'Neal less money than he wanted. And after 85% of readers in the Orlando Sentinel said that O'Neal is not, nobody thought much of it. And they got Shaq would remain in Orlando because they had a great team. But then, the ownership started stalling with his contract negotiations, offering O'Neal less money than he wanted. And after 85% of readers in the Orlando Sentinel said that O'Neal is not worth $100 million, Shaq's ego couldn't take it, and he wanted out. So Jerry West swooped in and lured Shaq to LA with a big contract, bright Hollywood lights, and one brash 18-year-old shooting guard.
Is that Kobe?
Shaq's personality was made for LA. He was rapping, making movies, and hanging out with celebrities. But even though he was delivering his usual numbers and led the NBA in field goal percentage, the Lakers weren't very successful and were getting swept in the playoffs. The general public started to wonder if Shaq is truly a great player and if he was committed to winning. After the 1999 season, they hired a 6-time NBA champion head coach, Phil Jackson. In the offseason, Shaq was no longer making bad movies and partying. For once, he spent his summer in the gym, got into the best shape of his life. O'Neal led the NBA in scoring and field goal percentage, with nearly 30 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks on average. He was just one vote shy of becoming the first unanimous MVP in NBA history. That regular season in 2000, the Lakers won 67 games, which was the 5th best result ever.
He don't throw him and then look down like, oops.
The Lakers won 67 games, which was the 5th best result ever. It seemed like they would sleepwalk through the West and get to the finals, but the Portland Trail Blazers had other plans. In Game 7 of the conference finals, Portland had a 15-point lead in the 4th quarter, and it looked like Shaq was going to swallow another bitter pill. But all of a sudden, the Blazers kept missing. And with 1 minute to go, Kobe threw an alley-oop to Shaq, which completed the comeback, and became arguably the most memorable play in Lakers history. The Lakers did it. They were in the finals against the Pacers, and Shaq was on a mission. Despite a formidable resistance from Reggie Miller and Jalen Rose, they couldn't do anything against O'Neal, who averaged 38 points and 17 rebounds in the series. The Lakers won in 6 games, and Shaq was finally an NBA champion. But Diesel was satisfied with winning 1 championship, and he went back to his chilling and partying all summer. So coming into training camp out of shape, Kobe Bryant was pissed, and their relationship started to deteriorate. While Shaq was shedding the extra pounds, Kobe became the Lakers' new best player. And even though the Lakers won 11 games less than the previous year, everything still clicked towards the playoffs. They swept the entire
like conditioning and like working. Like you can't be taking like you, cause you going against the people who probably spend their whole summer grinding, and you coming back from partying and stuff like that. You're thinking you still got it, cause you thinking the talent gonna overcome the hard work. When in reality, no. You know what I'm saying? Hard work don't, you know what I'm saying? Hard work beat talent when talent don't work hard. It's just shit true.
Eastern Conference, and everybody expected them to do the same against the Sixers in the finals. Until Allen Iverson played one of the best games in finals history. He scored 48 points in the Staples Center, stepped over Tyronn Lue, and stole Game 1 for the Sixers. However, this only pissed Shaq that one of the expected them to do the same against the Sixers in the finals. Until Allen Iverson played one of the best games in finals history. He scored 48 points in the Staples Center, stepped over Tyronn Lue.
Y'all want Allen Iverson content? Let me know and I got y'all, man.
And stole Game 1 for the Sixers. However, this only pissed Shaq off, so even though he was guarded by the Defensive Player of the Year, Dikembe Mutombo, Shaq came back on another level. O'Neal averaged 33 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3.5 blocks, and the Lakers won the next 4 games and the championship. In 2002, Shaq and Kobe and the Lakers continued their dominance. But this year, there was finally a worthy opponent, the #1 seed Sacramento Kings. The Kings played the best basketball all year long, and they had what it took to dethrone the Lakers.
Who the Kings
but with some
have,
bad
man?
luck and arguably the worst officiating in NBA history, Sacramento couldn't deliver the final punch. And the Lakers advanced to the finals, where they swept the Nets.
Who the Kings
O'Neal
had?
averaged 36, 12, and 4, and won his 3rd consecutive Finals MVP. In 2003, Tim Duncan and the Spurs proved to be
Duncan.
too strong for the Lakers,
Yeah.
which is why in 2004,
They had a solid. They got Duncan. You got Tony Parker. Who else? Who else the Spurs had? Ginobili. I don't know if Ginobili was playing on them back in 2004. I don't know if he was on the Spurs. I'm not 100% sure. But I remember the Spurs. They do have a decent lineup, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Yeah.
added Karl Malone and Gary Payton to form a super team. And even though they were the best team on paper, the Lakers grew extremely dysfunctional. Shaq feuded with Jerry Buss over a new contract and complained about Kobe. Shaq said Kobe was selfish and didn't throw him the ball enough. So Kobe responded by calling O'Neal fat and lazy. But despite all the turmoil, the Lakers were still so talented and they reached another NBA Finals. However, the lack of team chemistry showed its ugly head when it was most important. Kobe was forcing things, and Shaq was successfully guarded by Ben Wallace. For the first time in several years, a player could contain Shaq one-on-one. Detroit defeated LA in
Ben Wallace was locking Shaq up? Damn.
5 games, and it was the end of the road for Shaq and Kobe, whose relationship got bad beyond repair. The Lakers didn't want to lose Kobe, and Shaq was too expensive for their taste, so they traded Big Diesel to Miami. South Beach. Shaq ballooned to nearly 400 pounds at the end of his Lakers.
Who did the Lakers get on that trade? Who did the Lakers get on that trade from the Heat?
Days. That wasn't going to fly with Pat Riley and Miami's 10% body fat policy. So for the 2005 season, Big Diesel got to 320 pounds, wanting to show the Lakers that they should have chosen him over Kobe. He finished second in the MVP race behind Steve Nash, and he's still salty about it. But the Heat had the #1 seed and swept their first 2 playoff series. However, in the conference finals, the Pistons edged them in 7 games. Shaq couldn't let that slide, and in 2006, Miami got back at the Pistons. This time, it was Miami who advanced to the finals for the first time in franchise history. However, the championship was looking unattainable for the Heat against the Mavericks.
Jason Terry.
Yeah, with US Cellular, I got to pick
Jason
any
Terry
phone
was
I
pretty
wanted
cold
for
too. I
free.
ain't gonna lie.
And I was
Dallas had a 2-0 lead and a big advantage in the 4th quarter of Game 3. Thanks to D. Wade, the Heat pulled off an upset and brought the dream back to life. Then, out of nowhere, Miami turned the tables and went on to win the next 3 games and the series. Shaq was clearly second fiddle to Wade, but he delivered on his promise and brought a championship parade to South Beach. But next season, as usual, drama followed Shaq, and he nearly fought Pat Riley at practice. His days in Miami were numbered. In 2009, he was named the All-Star MVP together with Kobe, and that was the last highlight of his career. Shaq spent the last couple of years trying to chase a ring next to LeBron in Cleveland and with Boston's Big Three. But Big Diesel was getting older. Ring next to LeBron in
Hold on, Shaq played with
Cleveland and with Boston
and the Celtics? Nah, I'm not believing this, bro. I'm not believing this, bro.
Big Three. But Big Diesel was getting older and heavier. So after his Achilles broke in the 2011 playoffs,
bro, Shaq was on the fucking Celtics, nigga? What the fuck?
He was forced to retire from the NBA. Legacy. Shaq was a terrible free throw shooter. He didn't work hard during practice. He partied like a rock star, and he could have been much better defensively. Phil Jackson said that he was the laziest superstar ever, and that his 2000 MVP year was the only season Shaq was ever in shape. O'Neal's ego also made him clash with teammates and coaches often. But for the first 14 years of his career, Shaq averaged 26 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2.5 blocks. He led the league in field goal percentage 10 times and won 4 championships, with 3 finals MVPs and 1 regular season MVP. If we're talking about the best centers ever, he led the league in field goal percentage 10 times and won 4 championships,
he got
with
4
3
rings.
finals MVPs and 1 regular season MVP. If we're talking about the
4
best
rings.
centers ever, Kareem was the only one who had individual accolades and team success that can match Shaq. And yes,
A Kareem? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Might be dropping that. You never know.
One who had individual
Like
accolades
up the video,
and
man.
team
Like up the
success
video,
that can
guys.
match Shaq. And yes, Hakeem was a better shooter and a better defender, and the same is true for David Robinson. Bill Russell has more championships, and Wilt had better individual stats. However, none of those great centers were as dominant as Shaq was in his prime, because there was nobody at his size that moved that fast, ever, not even Wilt. Between 2000 and 2002, O'Neal averaged 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks in the
scared to
playoffs.
guard him.
Kobe was great in everything, but Shaq was the main problem for every Lakers opponent during that era. Many say that if Shaq had an approach to basketball like Kobe, he could have won 10 titles and 5 MVPs.
Hey, it's all up here. This is where it start. Oh man, you never know.
Yeah, Shaq could have worked harder, but he did it his way and had arguably the most fun out of any NBA player ever. Shaq was enjoying life to the fullest. He still won 4 titles and 6 trips to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
He still ranks among the 5 best centers ever and among the 20 best players in NBA history.
Can you dig it?
20 best player in NBA history, man. But there you guys go, though, man. How good was Shaq Actually, man? Shaq was pretty damn good, man. Shaq was pretty damn good. He played a major role in Kobe's behalf as well of winning the championships. Yeah. It's pretty damn good, man. Y'all comment y'all thoughts and opinions below. Like I said, I'm always down there showing love. Check out one of the videos on the screen if you haven't done so already, man. It's definitely a banger. I wouldn't miss it if I was you. Like up the video up on the way out. All that good stuff helps out with the channel. I think I already said it. I don't even remember, man. Subscribe. Turn notifications on, because we're going to continue dropping these bangers, man. Catch y'all next video.